How's it going, guys? Matt Lighty here, and we're going to be going over a new Cyclone build. Very similar to the 5 to 10 variant I've been making. This one, we're going to be testing out dual wielding swords. It's a bit of a controversial Cyclone build, I'd say. It's hard to get good one-hand swords, and they're expensive often. And overall, going crit dual wield Cyclone is lackluster compared to things such as Reeve or Dual Strike or even, Viper Strike. We have mediocre swords here. One is worse than the other even. They both just have 2 attack speed. One is crit, give or take 150 to 220 physical DPS. For gear, we're using rare, pretty much everything rare. Abyssus for a helmet because this build swords, one thing they can stack a lot of is crit multi. So my crit multi is literally 600%, which is extremely high. And for chest, we're using a lightning coil. Not needed at all, but it helps to mitigate some of the physical damage increased you may take from Abyssus, and in general, because our life pool isn't massive. 5k is fine, though. We took a bit of a wonky route here to grab lots of the crit. It's spread out in a bunch of weird places, but it all kind of works out. Semi-efficient is what I'd call it. Also leaves room if we wanted to come up the right side, grab Acrobatics, the Heartseeker cluster, and the Herbalism cluster, along with Ondar's Guile, if we so choose to pretty much reallocate this section and Unwavering Stance. It gives us the option, if we do choose that route, to then toss on Chaos Roots for doing at Zeri, because it helps with the trio fight if we choose to not be stunned, which is a big deal. And our movement speed is really no issue, since we can use Leap Slam to move around, which has no effect on our movement speed whatsoever. Everything else is pretty standard. We grabbed as much crit as we could. Our crit chance isn't very high, 37%, and 94% chance to hit, because we're running additional accuracy, and since we're using Corsair swords, we get additional accuracy on them. If you want to use Fancy Foils or Val Rapiers, it gives you more crit multi, which is pretty good. We're not using Valpact at the moment because our crit chance isn't high enough where we're really critting that often. And even having the 2.8 life regen per second we get from both Warrior's Blood and Master Arena in total, even grabbed 0.8 life regen over here by the Marauder area, actually gives us, 3.6 life regen, or 3.6% life regen, not negligible, and it makes us so we can run Blood Rage with losing a little bit of life. If you want, you can replace Abyssus with a Devotee's Devotion, and it both saves you 1 to 2 passive nodes, and it allows you to run Blood Rage with 3.2% life regen and 40 chaos resistance, or breaking even chaos resistance, and it lets you run life regen Blood Rage without actually taking a damage. The degeneration completely counteracts it. We're going to run a map here as a quick little demo. This is a bit of a tricky map, actually. I know we have Ellie weakness, and we're not overcapped enough that we can mitigate that. We have lightning damage, double boss, and it's beyond. So this is going to be a rippy map and a half, and this build isn't very safe, for a lack of a better term. For Flask, we're doing double Seething Staunching, Roomies, an Ample of Heat, just so in case we do get frozen, since we're not freeze immune, and a Perpetual Topaz. It should be a Surge and Grounding, but that's not possible, because I said so. Suffix, ain't the thing. Let's see how it goes. I mean, when we hit things, we hit them fairly hard. We have a, because our 94% hit chance, or give or take, we have like a 32% chance to crit, after averaging shit out. Right now resistances are not good, and this is a lightning coil build, so to have 56% lightning res is like a fucking nightmare. And we basically can't use Blood Rage because we're going to kill ourselves. So this is like a worst case scenario, it seems. We're going to run Blood Rage anyway, and I'm not degenerating too horrifically. As you can see though, when you do crit, it really chunks things. It one-shots some mobs because of how high crit multi is. But doesn't mean you don't get tremendous pain from just everything. Again, this is one of the worst case scenario maps. Um, this is not a reflect map, which could be even more worst case scenario. But reflect is actually, you handle it fairly well. Um, for that, you could toss on Valpact, and that pretty much mitigates that altogether. But in general, this is a sketchy ordeal. Definitely the least tanky of the Cyclone builds you've covered so far. Even more so than Staff Cyclone. Obviously, crit versions are always going to be less tanky than the Resolute Technique versions. We're going to skip some trash here and kind of try to move on to the boss if possible. If we can even make it that far. Oi. Alright, that hurts. See him do a summon 2 Beyond Pack somehow. Somehow survived. It's beyond me how. For a single target, you could toss on Conk Effect and place an increased daily, obviously. And that is what we're going to do, I believe, for the boss fight. I don't see a scenario where we survive this boss. But if it exists, we'll find it. But yeah, I mean, my gear, this is a very weapon-dependent build, and my weapons are pretty trash overall. It's not very link-dependent. You'd think it would be, but Cyclone in general isn't super link-dependent. It functions very similarly on a 4-link as it does on a 6-link. You're just getting not a huge amount of extra damage. Like, the extra crit damage you're getting from the actual gem isn't a massive amount. It scales very well, obviously, but in general, it's good, Ivarichi. We're just gonna kill it. Whatever it is, we're gonna try to kill it. Let's see how this thing fights against an Exile. Am I just gonna get one shot? No. Oh, there's a moment of truth. Moment of truth. Alright, let's toss on Conk Effect and pray to whatever god we believe in. Pray to Cthulhu this works. Alright, let's put on increased AoE for Conk Effect. We should have Val Haste up, which should make some difference. Somewhere. Oh, I can hear the pain. Not surprised. Really at all. Would Valpack make a tremendous difference there? Not particularly. Just turned off. I somehow turned off Purity of Fire. Lightning. Not surprised that I just died to a lightning warp. Oh shit. So how do you miss hotkey your shit? Whoa, buddy. Okay. That went a direction. Could have gone in a different direction. Overall, I'm not surprised how that went, but I'm Okay. One of the main reasons I like swords over daggers or claws for this is like almost strictly because of leap slam. I don't like whirling blades, and I like leap slam so much better for a movement based skill. Is leap slam worse, like efficiently worse? Oh, spike, lag, spike and a half. Yeah, it's worse, but I just don't like the feel of it. It doesn't feel good. Feels a very important thing, you know, in this game. The feel of a skill is very important. If a skill doesn't feel good, you're fucking yourself over. For curses, we're doing Assassin's Mark. It's pretty much strictly the um, best curse there is. Not only does it help crit, power charges, and chance to crit, you know, the damage, and the 24 life is actually not a negligible number. We have a link to increased duration Val Haste. Val Haste is just nice for bosses or for sticky situations. It can be easily replaced with Val Discipline, not Discipline, sorry, Val Grace, which is just as good. For mapping, I would say don't use an Echo setup, use a cast on damage taken, a Mortal Call setup, but level 20 is fine when you have this much health. It should be to the point where you're almost dead when it casts. Leap Slam with Blood Magic, faster casting. Vengeance, during charge of melee stun and enhance. Blood Rage again is not needed, but it's nice. Things you can sub out for this, you could sub out if you have accuracy, if you have it on gear, added fire damage is what you want to put in for here. Increased area of effect, swap with a conk effect. And you could also, if you choose to run and you pick up some power charge, you can run power charge on crit. It's fine. For auras, you know, don't run purity lighting unless you're doing lightning coil. If you have a rare chest, belly of the beast, carcass jack, all are fine. If you want to run any of those, then you simply run haste instead, or grace if you choose to not use unwavering stance is also equally good. Haste is a good one though. Haste is nice for Cyclone builds. Helps, gives you everything you want. Everything else is pretty standard for Cyclone. Let me see if there's anything else, things that are tricksy or different. If you choose to, you could go a dual-wield block route. It's not much you can pick up along this path, but you could easily get the block nodes here. These nodes aren't bad also for damage. You could pick up the block nodes around here. You can come, if you come up this direction, you can grab these. You can grab the ones there. You can grab the ones up there. That is an option. At the moment, my block chance is 17% because I am dual wielding. Not a negligible amount, but it is, you know, it's pretty fucking low. Let's be honest. It looks nice to spin with two things in hand. I'd say still strictly worse than daggers. But Cyclone is pretty nice in this position. I would suggest that you go Duelist for this. Pick up these melee areas. And then pretty much just cut this out of the tree. And then come up on this side and pick up all the lovely crit stuff around here, which should equal to give or take 18 points. That'd be the higher damage route. In that case, you have Valpact. Obviously, you want to get a Cutie. You can use Malagardo's Virtuosity. It's also strong. But, you know, it's good. It's good. And this build is, all, like I said, it's like I always say, it's in conjunction with a guide, and the guide will be in the description below. Feel free to click it with all Lighty guides, and it will break down anything you need to know about Cyclone, and there's a section specifically for Dual-Wield Sword Crit Cyclone. I'm at Lighty. Have a good day, guys.